Welcome learners, I am Dr. Suhasini Bajpayee, Assistant Professor, School of Education, Mahatma Gandhi Antarrashtriya Hindi Vishwavidyalaya, Wardha. Today we are going to discuss on topic experiential learning approach in science. After going through this, you will be able to understand concept of experiential learning. You will be able to describe Kolbe's experiential learning model, design learning experiences for assisting learners to attain concepts and acquire skills to learn science. You will be able to relate the roles and importance of hands-on experiences in learning science. First of all, it is necessary to know about what is experiential learning. Learning is the process whereby knowledge is created through the transformation of experiences. Experiential learning is the process of learning from direct experience. Experiential learning is a broad category for teaching methods and activities that involve the learner in the learning process. Students are given the opportunity to learn by experience. According to the Association for Experiential Education, experiential learning can be summed up in the phrase challenge and experience followed by reflection and application leading to learning and growth. So, it is a theory that defines the cognitive process of learning, emphasizing the importance of developing four kinds of ability, that is concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization and active experimentation, where a learner encounters some experiences. So, we can say that in experiential learning, learner is free to learn concepts of science on basis of its own experiences. Four stages in experiential learning are concrete experience, then it is followed by reflective observation, it goes towards abstract conceptualization and it leads for active experimentation. So, it is a cyclic process of learning about any concept in science. These four stages are suggested by Kolbe and Fry in 1975. According to Kolbe's learning loop, these four stages occurs in a sequential manner. As you can see in the picture that a new experience is encountered, that is concrete experience, and it is followed by observation of and reflection on that experience, which leads to the formulation of abstract concepts and generalization, which are then used to test hypotheses in future situations resulting in new experiences. So, we can conclude that these four stages are always occurring in a cyclic manner for experiential learning processes. For concrete experience, the spirit is for doing or having an experience. Through participation in learning activities, students gets hand-on experience on problem-solving tasks. The experience is personal and involves individual affections. So, we are seeing that when we are going with the process of experiential learning, the learner is always in direct contact of that very experience. And for future, he can also use that very experiences when he is facing the same kind of problem again. Stage second is with reflective observation. It is related with reviewing, observing on the experience. Students recall their memory or look at records of the learning activities. They review and reflect on the process either individually or in group. By using this technique, we are again going to support collaborative environment in our classroom, when individually working opportunity are in front of students, as well as they can work in group and develop their social skills also. Learners observe others' behavior during the activities as well. So, during the process of interaction with each other, interpersonal abilities of learner can be developed. Under stage third of experiential learning, abstract conceptualization occur. It is directly related with thinking and concluding from the experience. Generally, students during the process of abstract conceptualization, working on any problem, then generalize knowledge and theory from the previous experience based on the reflection. When our students are engaged under the process of experiential learning, they used to share their experiences with the fellow partners of the group. At the same time, they also use their experiences of problem solving strategies for the similar kind of problems. At stage 4, that is active experimentation, it is directly related with planning or trying out what you have learned during the process of experiential learning. In this, students modify existing concepts and knowledge with the new theory they come up with and apply in later occasions. We can conclude that after making any hypothesis for any kind of particular problem, students can investigate one by one for testing that very hypothesis and makes generalization according to their experience for that particular problem. At the end of that very strategy, they are capable of solving the problem and making generalization and conclusion based on the activity and experiences they have during the entire process. Let us talk about what are the key principles of experiential learning. Learning is more efficient when the subject matter is relevant to the personal interest of the students. That is, if we are engaging our learners in classroom with their own interest and abilities, no doubt the chance of success is high than in other classes where we are not going to cater the interest and different abilities of learners sitting in the classroom. Learning which is threatening to the self, that is, new attitudes or perspective, are more easily assimilated. We can say that if any learner is free to learn with their own experiences, then the stability of that very knowledge in their mind is much more than having no experience of that very problem. Self-initiated learning is the most lasting and pervasive. Students should have complete control over the entire learning process, its nature and direction. In case of experiential learning, we can manage overall control in hands of learner rather than a teacher for teaching learning process. If we are engaging our students in learning of science, then we have to give them opportunity to work according to your own pace and your own abilities. Self-evaluation should be the principal method of assessment. For experiential learning, process of self-evaluation is important, as every learner should know about the progress they achieved during the process of experiences. If we are thinking for the technique of experiential learning, what can we plan in our schools or our classroom? Suppose for students of science, we are planning one content related with experiential learning approach. For example, if we want to give them experience of any industrial area which is related with pasteurization of milk, we have to plan one schedule for direct experience of that particular plant and to see the processes going thereon. In order to let your learners know more about the process of pasteurization of milk, you have organized an educational visit of your learners to a pasteurization unit. When you are planning that very visit, you can see various experiences and cognitive processes going on in the mind of learners they experienced. We can discuss these experiences one by one. For example, if we can go through stage 1, that is concrete experience. For this example, when learners visit that particular pasteurization unit, they are capable of making various concrete experiences. For example, the students see big silos, that is containers for keeping or storing milk, that they are being cleaned and sterilized properly. You can see this in the picture that students are able to see the process of milk being tested for adulterants. They see the process of pasteurization being done, that is complete mechanism involved in process of pasteurization. They see how flavored milk is being prepared. It means that for a stage of concrete experience, when learner encountered any new situation or any new problem, he is trying to take every experience related with that particular problem or that situation. And one by one, they are using their cognitive abilities to understand the situation and see the experience. For this very visit of pasteurization unit, if we think for stage 2, that is reflective observation, we can see various activities among learners. For example, they ask questions related to packaging and marketing of milk. They come back and share their experiences with other students also. The process of reflective observation is directly related with seeking all the possibilities related with experience. If a learner encounters any new experience and perceive that very things in order to successful understanding and experience, they are ready to share their experience with their fellow partners also. This process again going to be helpful in development of academic as well as social skills among learners. When we are teaching the concept of science by using this experiential learning, the students are one side developing their cognitive ability and on another side they are developing their interpersonal skills also. So, when we are planning experiential learning, we are going for overall development of our students sitting in our classrooms. Third stage is related with abstract conceptualization. So, again for the example of pasteurization of milk, if we think process of abstract conceptualization, students conceptualize the process of pasteurization. They trying to know what is the process of pasteurization, what is the technique for doing pasteurization, what are the instruments required for the pasteurization, and what are the health benefits of pasteurized milk or health hazards related with pasteurized milk. They see a documentary on pasteurization. They learn that the milk should be heated for killing the germs present in milk during the process of pasteurization. So, as such, after discussing these very examples, we can conclude that during abstract conceptualization, every learner try to understand the cognitive phenomena behind any particular experience or situation. The various dimensions that are required for completing any process or solving any problem taken by students one by one and trying to make their concepts in their mind. The process of abstract conceptualization is also beneficial for students, as after having abstract conceptualization, they are able to solve similar kind of problem in future when they are going to encounter again. After understanding the concept properly, they are able to share their idea to other fellow also. It will help in process of interacting with students and giving them opportunity to learn with the help of their own experiences. At fourth stage, that is active experimentation, the students are trying to engage themselves in the process of active experimentations. If we are talking about similar situation of visit of pasteurization unit by students during the process of experiential learning, we can think on the issues that for active experimentation, the students can themselves test milk for adulteration. They can take away a small kit to detect adulteration of milk at home. In this case, if any student is aware about the adulteration condition of milk, he can test that very adulteration, because during the process of experiential learning at pasteurization unit, he develops the ability to understand cause of adulteration and how to detect that very elements that is responsible for causing adulteration of milk. They taste the various type of flavored milk available there. If they are in pasteurization unit and they are seeing and conceptualizing about the process of flavored milk production, they used to go see and taste the various type of flavored milk. At the same time, again they are able to do this very experiment in home conditions also, as they are exposing with the factors that how milk can be prepared in form of flavored milk. So they have experience of that very situation during their visit at the pasteurization unit, so they can prepare that very flavored milk at home also. So we can conclude that if we are going to plan any visit related with any scientific concept, we are ready to give our learner direct experience for that very situation. It will help in building applicative knowledge of that very phenomena, giving direct experiences to our students. And this technique again helpful for inspiring our student, as it is giving them choices, opportunity to work collaboratively, opportunity to think, opportunity to reflect, and opportunity to working with their own interest. Let we think about what are the main characteristics of experiential learning. Experiential learning combines direct experience with focused reflection. It builds on past knowledge and experiences of learner. As a science teacher, we always know that for understanding of any concept, we have to check previous knowledge of our student. If we are going to check that very knowledge level and started to build up the new knowledge level at the same place from that very knowledge level, so the learning outcome becomes maximum. In case of experiential learning, it always builds on past knowledge and experience of learner. So it is helpful in retention of the content they have learned during the process. Experiential learning requires active involvement in meaning construction. If we are engaging our learner by experiential learning, so it is responsibility of learner to do experiments, to reflect on the things, to have various experiences regarding that very situation. So it going to ensure active involvement of learner. So again, this method promotes learner-centric classroom for teaching of science. Experiential learning encourages collaboration and exchange of ideas and perspectives among learners. It can be course focused or in class or community focused or work focused. If we are thinking for experiential learning approach for science content, we have lot of options. We can plan some events that are in classroom settings, or we can plan for some visits that is based on community interaction, or we can plan any work focused theme for any direct experience opportunity. What should be the qualities of experiential learning conditions? If we are thinking for students that is involved in experiential learning condition, he should be personally involved in learning tasks. No doubt, experiential learning can be performed by using group activities, but personal involvement of learner is again compulsory, and it is going to ensure individual accountability of learner. The knowledge or information must be discovered by the learner himself. If learner is in process of experiential learning, he should explore some or any information regarding with that very experience. Whenever various reflections of fellow learners are available, every individual has to think on that very reflection and experiential shared by various learners, but they have to maintain their own experience that will help in building their own knowledge itself. The objectives of the learning activity must be clearly understood. If as a teacher you are going to plan any content with the technique of experiential learning, first thing is to plan your objectives, that what you are trying to do and what abilities or what experiences you are going to provide to your learners. First one is, we can develop willingness to get actively involved in the experience. If our learner is taking the content, is trying to understand various experiences regarding any situation or any problem, he is directly involved in active learning process. Learner has ability to reflect on the experience. After having various content covered with the help of experiential learning, one ability of reflective thinking is developed in learners to think cognitively and to share their ideas to the fellow learners in the group. Every learner possesses decision making and problem solving skill in order to use new ideas gained from the experience. If we are taking for any scientific method, it gives opportunity to think on any problem, get hypothesized about the problem, making experiments, analyzing the results, and concluding and making generalization. So if we are engaging our learner in experiential learning, the ability of decision making, problem solving skills get developed. Every learner engaged in experiential learning possesses and use analytical skills also to conceptualize the experience. He has the ability to analyze the situation, making the judgments according to any problem. What should be role of a teacher during the process of experiential learning? In experiential learning, role of teacher is to be a good facilitator rather than a direct instructor. An excellent facilitator believes in the creed, you teach some by what you say, teach more by what you do, but most of all, you teach most by who are you. So, as a facilitator, role of teacher should be passionate about his or her work. It will be resulting in developing ability of actively engaging in process of experiential learning for creating new experience in learners. A teacher should always set a positive atmosphere for learning, because if we are going to give any learner-centered technique in our classroom for teaching of science, we should generate a positive atmosphere for giving maximum achievement to our students. The facilitator should stimulate the imagination, keeping learners hooked to the experience. He should give students learning resources and information both before and during the task. He should provide students with freedom to experiment during the task. He should share feelings and thoughts with learner but not should be in dominating role. As such, we can say that teacher in process of experiential learning working as facilitator and students are actively engaged, they are active learner and they are working on the basis of their interest and choices according to situation. What are the major elements in experiential learning activities by which learner and teachers are directly related? First one is meaning making, that is for making meaning with any experience or situation. Second one is paradigm shifting, that is shifting the existing idea about any situation or experience. And third one is self-understanding, that is creating your own ideas and making your own concepts regarding that very situation. Meaning making is a process in which learning through real life experience allows students to relate their knowledge to their daily lives. Hence, students can easier assimilate their knowledge and hence to apply what they have learned, providing a context and giving students situations make them know the meaning of task. In experiential learning, as a facilitator, what is the expectation of ourselves? It should be clear to the students. Paradigm shifting refers to the change of students' implicit ideas, assumptions and beliefs. Experiential learning activities allow students to visualize, to understand and to enact the assumptions and implications of different ideas and perspectives, which can later help students' character development. Self-understanding is reflecting on their own performance regularly and in a guided manner. Students pay more attention to their own thinking. This kind of meta thinking is especially important in personal change and growth of a student. If we are engaging our learner in experiential learning, we are always open to have new experience and construct new knowledge. So, we can say if we are teaching any concept having this technique, it will be helpful in creating in innovation or better understanding of any scientific concepts among our learners. As a teacher, the question is how to achieve experiential learning at our secondary level science classrooms. Take the class out on educational tours, maybe in nature, cultural centers, their own communities, industrial and commercial establishment, academic institution, or any other place which is directly or indirectly related with content of science you are going to take. There are many ways in which schools use experiential learning by having students engaged in hands-on learning. For example, we can plan visit of a science park, conducting interviews of the scientist, undertaking drills to develop specific scientific skills, collecting different chemicals and materials, work trips to industrial setup, scientific experiments or open-ended inquiries to determine cause and effect relationship, case studies of different scientific institutions and institutes of national importance. So, if we are going to plan for any experience for our science students, we should have a look on wider perspective that a topic should always be have any educational importance that we are going to take. So, in overall conclusion, we can say that if we are going to engage our learner in process of experiential learning for any scientific content, we are going to give opportunity of active experimentation, concrete experience, reflective observation, and abstract conceptualization to our learners. It is helpful in creating a active teaching learning situation that will be helpful in making new concept, creating new experiences for any scientific problem or situation. Thank you.